No.
And did you ever get any money from Myalansky?
I never got money from any of those fellas.
None of those
None of those fellas. None of these that I've been reading about, or none that I knew. They never gave me anything.
None of the Pachettes?
No. I don't even speak to it. I mean, I met that Charlie once or twice. I don't even talk.
You don't like him?
No.
Night Court with Joe Lanou, live on X.
Also known as Duck Corella.
I refuse to answer on the grounds of made intent to
You
criminate.
got any business?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of intent to criminate.
You have any profession?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of made
You
intent
have
to
any
criminate.
occupation?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of made intent
Are
to
you a
criminate.
known racketeer?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of
Good evening. Happy Friday night for our Friday night police video review show we call The Grand Jury. We've got Big Ron with us tonight. Jason, Lawyer Joe is back after a little bit of a hiatus, but we were able to get through the contract negotiations and get in here, and it involved an emotional support avatar for her, but we're good. Fidgy's with us tonight. Thank you, Fidgy. But hey, well, something that's kind of been around, and I think Corey's posted about this on X, I think is interesting, and that's this vegan trans cult, murder cult. What do y'all think about that? I know you had some comments on it, Corey. These guys right here.
Yes. Well, it's the Zizians. Well, I think they just shortened it up so they can fit it on the page. I'm still doing a lot more research on it, but they have been linked to 6 homicides so far. The California, Maryland, and then I think up at the border in New Hampshire or Vermont. But it was the Canadian border where they shot the police.
Where they killed a United States Border Patrol agent, and here's like 4 of the victims down here. This guy here on the bottom with the bruises, he's looking pretty rough.
Well, that was when they attacked him with a sword. Then they wound up coming back. Well, he was going to testify on who attacked him with the sword, and so they came back and finished him off. They were actually staying on this property, and they refused to. They stopped paying rent, and that's when they took out the sword and tried to kill him. And they thought they killed him, but they didn't. And so he was going to testify, and that guy Maximilian, I think it is, was the one that came and shot him. But yes, they're very interesting. And I just kind of odd with this.
So what they're doing is they were running around the country. The Jack guy, the matriarch of the group, was some person in the tech field, made pretty good money. These weren't like destitute folks. They had a little bit of cash, were able to make a little cash, but they're running around on RVs and just staying on people's property, right?
Yes, that's what they were doing.
And I think one of the couples come out and said, "Hey, why are you parked up on why are you in my space?" And they killed them for just coming out and asking them. I mean, really, what is it with the trans folks? They just have this strange need to be in other people's spaces until it's a problem. Can't get them out of the bathroom, and now they're living on your land.
Yeah, and I guess
they're not mentally stable.
Well, one thing I do want to know: what hormones are they taking? Oh, thank you.
I don't know, man, but there's the that's another disguise that Jack Ziz Lasoto is using. Contact your local law enforcement immediately. Do not approach. Armed and dangerous.
I just want to say fuck you.
Every time I see that, I smell Kool-Aid. Why is that?
Oh yeah.
Well, who was talking about it the other night? A yellow lemonade, like you call lemonade, or you call lemonade yellow? Like, give me some yellow.
That was Lita that was talking about that. I think. Oh, B. Oh,
no, I think it was Lita, but I mean that's not right. Nobody else believes that, right?
Oh, you're right. It was Lita. No one does that.
Yeah, I was saying don't eat yellow snow.
Yeah,
I adore her, but she's
yellow.
Michigan,
I mean, I'd be like, man, what you talking about there? I don't want to drink none of that. It's not what I'm doing. Hey, folks, let me ask everybody that's watching and all my hosts here, give us out a retweet. Once again, I can't post out notices like I do for a space to let people know what's going on X with streams just yet. Hopefully they'll fix that, but it would sure be helpful if everybody give it a shout out and see if we can get some more eyes on what we're about to start. And we'll get into some videos here in just a couple of minutes. Jason, you got some. There's been some things happening with 3D Response here this week, right?
Yeah, we made it through the first committee at the state for the SHIELD Act, passed unanimously through the Education Committee, and we move on to the Public Safety Committee within the next couple weeks. So it was a really good day on Wednesday. Testified, did a press conference. It's moving forward nicely.
I have over 29 years of diversified law enforcement experience, including a 10 years as a school resource officer in the Lakeville Public School District. Throughout my career, I've dedicated myself to enhancing the safety and security of our educational environments, recognizing that our children deserve to learn in a space where their well-being is prioritized. I was awarded the Medal of Merit as well as the Friend of Education Award for the work I put into active shooter response and keeping our kids safe.
Okay, well, what is a Friend of Education Award? How does one earn that?
It's an award offered by the school district. They pick, I think, only 4 people a year as the Friend of Education of the Year, and I got awarded that for the trainings that I did. I think it was 2013 or so in restructuring the response for teachers and kids and police.
Friends of Education, and I'm not knocking your award, but it almost has a socialistic feel to it. Anybody else feel that way about it? Just the name's kind of strange. No.
Yeah,
No.
That's
Were you
rude,
doing
Joe.
cops and bobbers at that time, Jason?
No, that was
Is
later.
that what made you a Friend of Education?
That came later.
Oh, yeah, I got jokes tonight.
Oh, yeah, we got jokes. Let's finish up and listen. This is Jason testifying, folks, at a Minnesota committee hearing on
The SHIELD Act.
the SHIELD Act, but in short, what it would require is essentially it's kind of a fire code for casualty events like an active shooter for schools. Same thing. So it's very interesting, and he did pretty good. Here he is.
With my experience as an SRO and supervisor of the SRO program, I have investigated and overseen over 55 threats of violence to public schools since 2002. I've also trained first responders and school employees in crucial topics such as active shooter responses, bomb threats, and lockdown drills for nearly 2 decades. This training is vital, but just one piece of
So yeah, that good testimony. I thought the thing, I watched it. We shot it out live. If anybody wants to, actually, I'll probably replay that over the weekend. If anybody wants to catch it, watch our community or watch my timeline, and you'll see it. But I'll show the whole testimony. It was real good. And by the way, it passed that committee, and it sounds like it's going to work its way out to the floor where it has a lot of support. This actually may be happening in Minnesota. Is that a wrong read, Jason, or too optimistic?
I'm just going along with the flow, but what I'm told, it's that hearing that we had is unheard of in our state, that a Republican bill came into that committee and got a unanimous vote.
The audience is chiming in on your video appearance there. So Jason sounds like he'd have more hair.
I don't want hair. It's a pain in the ass.
Pain in the ass, Casey. Pain in the ass. Don't insult that man.
Wait a
So-
second, is that only because he sounds like McGruff? So she's expecting fur?
Well, originally
People
that
crying.
was the opinion of Jason's voice, that it sounded hairy. But I think B brought that up. But guys, we've got to clean up our game. We have a doctor in the house. Let's clean the decorum up. No more of this talk.
Well, you're not going to talk about what you said about him about 5 minutes ago?
I can show him a picture too. Hey, Dr. Ahern, have you seen the Ziz cult? Their leader there in the middle, that's one of his disguises. I'm sorry, it's one of her disguises.
Who is that? Is that who I think it is? Let's see here.
Yeah, Jack Corey Lesotho. Yes.
I don't know. I thought there was a Corey in there somewhere. That's right.
It is. That's his AKA. He goes by. He'd be known as Corey.
There it is.
All right, guys, let's get into some videos. Let's go to Oak Grove, California. This is a FAFO situation for sure.
Aubrey Spangler. There we go. No plates on the board. Just take it off on me. Copy, take it off on you. Here for you. Ready, quick press. Northbound on Spangler. 5-1, I've got the vehicle. Glen Ivy Court. Copy, Glen Ivy Court. Vehicle is parked, not moving. Copy.
Sure, units head south from me, start setting up a perimeter all along that conduit, and then south of that, AJ, if you could start setting up a perimeter from there. Calling in, I need people to start answering up response.
5-1, it's moving. Copy, it's moving. TC.
Going up to the Chase County TC here. You kept it going. We're going to be westbound Cottonwood around that curve.
I copy.
All right, coming up to Wilbur Way. Speeds. I think you just shot out of the car. So we got shots fired from the car. Yep, we got multiple shots fired. Westbound Kelsey, coming up to Hemingway. That's Elder Creek. We're going to be 3 Elder Creek TC. Actually made it around it. He's going to be opposing. Officers are right way. He's going to be back right way. Southbound Tower in, passing 48.
Yeah, 69.
Don't move! Hands up!
Shots fired, shots fired. I copy, shots fired.
69. And
Yeah, 69.
don't move! Hands up!
Shots fired, shots fired. I copy, shots fired.
Hands up! I got the guy. I got the suspect. Lock your seatbelt. We're good. Everybody hold. Put your fucking guns down. Everybody hold. Don't move. Do not move. I'll help you out of the car. Crawl out. Crawl out. Get out. Everybody hold. No firing. He's down. This way. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
All right. Anybody have opinions on this one just yet? Or do you
I
need to
thought
find
the
out with
officer
you?
did great, like talking the whole way through. He's not on the right of way, blah, blah, blah. He's moving over to the right, going the right way.
So that helped you?
I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
So
As far as the guy getting shot, I don't care. Yeah. They did great. No bill.
No bill.
I feel like we stick on these and kind of pass the stick around to beat the same horse on some of these videos. So what I like to do tonight, is there anybody in here that's got any issues or anything they want to see?
It looked like they had indicated, and you're right. It was really good radio discipline, which is not easy to do in a high speed chase like that. But it looked like once they had pitted him around the 13:10 mark of your live time mark, it looked like he had initiated. It was really hard to tell because I know that they had called out that there were shots fired. He was firing from the car. How they didn't kill the female passenger, God only knows. But it looked like there was that one that you could see that it looked like the compartment of the vehicle became illuminated with him actually firing first. Is what it was. Did I miss that? I mean, they didn't. The cops just
Is
didn't
this
have
the
to. After
portion
they
of the
pitted
video
him,
you're
the
talking
cops
about?
didn't come out gun blazing. It looked like he initiated the firefight,
But is
even
this
after they pitted. Right?
is this the portion of the video playing now that we're talking about?
No, it was the one where the officer, where you could really the focus was a little bit more on the steering wheel, and you could really only kind of see the out of the kind of the left hand corner right there. Which I mean, and Joe probably have more knowledge about that, but in the lawsuit, which is inevitable, that probably would make a big deal too.
Even if so, he was trying to still move that car, which is still could be considered a deadly weapon,
True.
as he was
Well,
still
he's
trying to
got
go.
a deadly weapon in there. He's already discharged it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
You
I'm
think
just
he's
saying
doing
in
all this to give
addition.
up and say my bad?
No, I'm saying in addition to him even
Dr.
taking a
Doug,
shot.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
don't I don't see it. Honestly, I don't see a lawsuit. I mean, he shot first.
You don't see a
That
winning lawsuit.
well,
Right.
that's true. That's a good point. But I mean, you're not going to get past.
I don't
I
know
don't
what y'all
think you'll
talking
get
about. The
past
attorney
summary
always
judgment on
wins.
that.
They get paid.
What?
So the attorneys always win both sides.
Well,
There's never a
yeah.
loser on the attorney side.
Unfortunately, that's true. But I don't. I mean, this isn't getting past summary judgment, so in no bill.
Yeah, no, definitely no bill. I didn't know. I mean, like I said, I was looking for that because, whenever the shot would come out, the officers I think they did a fantastic job. They didn't come out guns a blazing, which by all rights they could have, but they didn't.
Now your suspect here is doing something. I don't know if he's trying to get the vehicle to move, but he rises up in his seat on top of the steering wheel before this officer on the passenger side shoots.
Right? Yeah,
You can see the glass go cloudy when the first.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it looks like immediately once they pitted him that he started shooting anyway. So, goodbye, sir. FAFO.
Anybody have anything else they want to add to this one? This was I labeled it appropriately, FAFO, and I think that's what happened. Jason, what do you think about this one?
I can't believe that woman didn't get hit.
Yeah, there were two other people in there that didn't get hit. Yeah, that's true.
That's impressive. And I'm not being critical, but that's not a pit. They rammed that car.
Hey! It was a sterile maneuver. Now, okay, all this talk right
I'm
here.
old, man. I'm old. Sorry, that's like 1980s vernacular.
We've got gunshots going on the driver's side here. And I just know you guys. Now we watch this little side right here. Now gunshots going on the opposite side over here. Now this guy, he's shooting straight. They're both shooting the same target. See the officer's white hand out the window. Look at that. Y'all didn't say anything about crossfire. No training for these officers. Fidgy.
Yeah,
Joe?
not in training mode tonight.
Oh, in
You're
this
not going
situation,
to require these guys to attend extra training, full battle rattle, and fill sandbags or something for a week and penance for their actions?
no. Here's the thing.
I think that would help tremendously, and we need a social worker in there.
But here's the thing: the crossfire is just going to kill the other guy, like the one cop or the other one. So,
Is he not an innocent victim in this?
Moving on.
He's an NPC, right? He doesn't have.
No, if they're so stupid that they're firing at each other and they don't know better than to check for crossfire, that sounds like a Darwin thing to me. So
30 seconds ago, y'all were all over these police. They couldn't have no corrective action. I point out one thing. Now they're son of a bitches.
no. I said they
take
did
much to
fine.
go from the hero to zero with you guys. But let's go to. Hey, let's go to New York. This won't be a gunfight because you can't have guns in New York. Ramblin' Rob, you're right. That crossfire did catch me. I'm surprised all these other Geniuses in here didn't jump on it first. They usually do. Okay, so there is our video. Corey, what do you think?
I'm not seeing where deadly action is. Whether it's the car. All right, so here at this point, right, he takes off in the car again. Right, he's been ramming cars all day, whatever.
All right, well, this is first contact.
First contact, and so he already used the car as a weapon, which deadly forces at that point, yes, because we had that officer that was in front of the car.
So, how did he use the car as a weapon?
See that officer right there? When he takes off, right, there's an officer right there. He could have rammed that officer.
Let's listen to it.
No
gunfire. Man, I can't tell if that's gunfire or crumpling of the door.
I think it was crumpling. I don't think that was gunfire.
So we haven't had a shot yet, right? But
no, I don't.
You could say that's deadly force. That officers between the stationary vehicle and the vehicle traveling forward, door open. Absolutely, that he was in. He has reasonable fear of his life or limb.
Exactly. At that point, the only thing I was trying to see the second contact. All right, so he rammed them.
Rammed the vehicles here.
I see movement. I just can't see a gun. But I'm gonna no build it anyway. He should have did it in the first place. He was out there ramming cars. He ran away. Hey, FAFO.
Okay, so no bill. Anybody else have any other parts of this they want to see to get a clear vision in their head what they think about it?
Would that be normal? I mean, he didn't like fire at them, right? So even though he's like ramming cars and all, they have enough police cars around to stop him. What was that normal would that be like a normal procedure for them to just get out and start firing like that?
Well,
before you go to procedure, go to the very basics. You, just like that police officer, can use deadly force to defend yourself or defend a third person of serious bodily injury. I'm not going to say that every time. Let's just say in self-defense of yourself or defense of a third person. The threat doesn't have to be real. It just has to be a reasonable person in the same situation could have believed the same thing, that they were defending themselves. They weren't retribution, apprehension. I'm angry. None of those are reasons. So I'll ask you, use that as your gauge when you look at this, is what I suggest. And I think I was stepping on Dr. Ahern.
No, Dr. Ahern's always got his mouth open about something. Don't worry about that. To offset kind of what you had said, just right now, Mr. Lanou, that if you're going to say that you're in fear of yourself and fear of safety and you're firing shots at him, don't stand in front of the vehicle. That's probably a rule number one. You shouldn't be there to begin with, but that's neither here nor there, because earlier you can hear them saying, show us your hands, and just before the gunfire kind of drowns it out, you hear a drop and then pow, 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 pow. I don't know where it was on the video I saw it, because I was actually paying more attention to the one rookie or whoever it was that basically ran off about 2 blocks down the street and then decided to take a defensive position by the bushes. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah, but you know what? I can say that in a minute. I think that was probably one of the officers' reactions that I liked the most.
Yeah, because that was funny. I know. You don't tell me though that gentleman is not going to get harassed relentlessly for the rest of his career for that.
The interesting information released on this is that they don't address a firearm one way or the other on this. They don't say one was found. They don't say one wasn't. He is a DRT 100%. The actor is in this. I want to go to Jason. What do you think about this one?
I apologize. I had to step away, but I watched the first part of it. And it's kind of funny. I'm not sure if any guys that are former law enforcement, but you just get into this massive high stress thing. Your blood's pumping. You jump in your squad car, and you hear this nice polite tone of do 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 do. And I've told my squad, would you shut the fuck up? Not now with trying to calm me down. That's the one thing I noticed. Sorry.
So are we talking sympathy fire here, Jason?
I didn't see. I'm watching. Sorry.
You need to hear it too. Let's go back to the same engagement, different angle.
Yeah.
You say yes to sympathy fire?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody have any suggestions for an indictment on this for any of the officers' actions?
I have a quick question. What is sympathy fire?
You're shooting because the guy next to you is.
Okay.
Look, you got to remember, and it's no different being a police officer as anybody else looking down the sights and pulling an individual, discharging an individual bullet out of a weapon. You can only aim at one target. You're responsible for what comes out. And if you're just shooting to make some noise like they do on television, then you are 100% wrong. And if you hurt anybody, you should go to jail. That's negligence, in my opinion. But for officers to shoot into this vehicle because the first guy did, that's dangerous. And it's also dangerous for those officers. If this is a bad shoot, how are they going to defend themselves? What did they see? Well, I shot because the other guy did. That's not, where's your reasonable fear? Remember, every bullet that comes out, there has to be reasonable fear, and it has to exist. So that's sympathy fire.
Yeah, that I completely, how far back these other guys are, and the one guy that's close sees what he sees, and then you just start shooting. I don't fault them for it.
Well, and they shoot longer than he does. They engage the target longer than he does, the guy up close.
I don't fault them for it, because there's, you trust your partners, and if he saw something, you trust that reaction. But
what about No gun in the car. Neither one of you attorneys have issue that this car is like incapacitated and is no longer, may have been a weapon earlier, but it's not a weapon right now. That he couldn't use it for a weapon if he wanted to. That's the reason he's not moving. It's not because he decided to stop. He's wrecked out. It's like he had a gun and he dropped it a block ago and you shoot him a block away.
Well, we talk about like being in a grand jury, and no, you present this to a grand jury and it's going to come. They were acting within their official capacity. They had a right to be there. The first one feared for his life, and the rest of them are lemmings and followed suit or whatever. Now I see a civil case, but I don't see a criminal
hold up.
one.
Does that hold up in court? Can you like he was in so much fear of his life that it affected me?
I don't know. Are you guys allowed to do that?
Same rules apply to you. Are you allowed to be affected by someone else's fear enough that you're able to make that action as a civilian? Then why would you be able to do it as a police officer? Remember,
I don't know.
That firearm is not there to take people to jail. That firearm is there to defend their life and third person's life. That's the only reason cops carry a firearm.
Well, if I was, God forbid, ever like representing the cops in something like this, that's where I say he was firing into there. I thought I saw a gun. So I fired into the car too, because I was trying to make sure that other officer was protected. I could think of a zillion different scenarios.
And I get what you're saying is that my partner, and what Jason said, my partner or this guy I trust sees a threat in there and is eliminating it. And I see the person that could be the threat. So I'm going to eliminate the person. I understand what you're saying.
That's where the reasonable act, because you are protecting the life of that fellow officer. You're watching the fellow officer act and is in danger at that particular moment based on their observations. You don't know if what he's doing is reasonable or he or she is doing is reasonable at that moment. All you know is that officer fears for their life. Therefore, you are acting based on their actions. It's not necessarily a sympathy shoot, I guess, if that's what you would want to call it. But I could see where the argument could certainly be made that, yeah, you know what, if they're firing as well, even if they don't personally see a weapon, they're basing it on the actions of the reasonable actions, or reasonably basing it on the actions of the
Let me
other
give you a
officers.
tale of sympathy shoot. A sympathy fire is when someone has to tell you to stop shooting. You're not shooting at a target. Otherwise, you'd know when to stop shooting. You stop when there's no longer a threat, but you're not observing a threat. You're just shooting. That's sympathy fire. And I guess that's my whole point on this. And I don't want to beat this one to death. Without a doubt, I might be I could lean towards the passenger. I think the one we're watching right now. I could lean towards this cat maybe going to a jury. I don't know that he's panic firing. He's discharging that firearm for all the wrong reasons, in my opinion.
I'm going to disagree with you.
I figured you would, but that's where I'm going to stand on that one. I just a whole lot I don't like about it. I mean, how many vehicle pursuits end in traffic accidents? Most of them actually, if you're going to actually apprehend them. If they're going to shoot this guy, they should have shot him when he was trying to drive over the cops in the intersection, in my opinion. I think that they're, as you guys always like to say, they had plenty of time in this situation to back off. They had plenty of time in this situation to not intercede. The vehicle's not going anywhere. He's stuck in it. There's plenty of you around, as you all like. I'm using the same arguments that you guys use week after week on thinner situations, but that's where I'm going to land. If somebody wants to counter that, they can. If not, we'll go to the next video.
I just reiterate that I thought I heard, when they were yelling, show us your hands, that I heard drop and then that's whenever the firing started.
Let me tell you a trick. If I want to get you out of your vehicle as I'm walking up to the vehicle on a traffic stop, I say to the video and I say to the cameras, like, oh, whoa, what are you doing? What are you reaching for? Whoa, don't reach for anything as you're opening the door. No, please, sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. What were you reaching for? Were you reaching? Anyway, it may be a thin argument, but I do have some issues with this. I think this is I don't see a lot of officer proficiency from some of the officers here. I think some of them did a pretty good job. Jason, you don't have anything to say that?
I agree with the last comment you said. I think if you're walking up to a car and your partner's 7 feet in front of you, and all of a sudden he pulls his gun out and starts shooting, my reaction is to protect my partner, which kind of goes into what I talk about. My partner feels like his life is in immediate danger. So my response would be, okay, oh shit, game on. Something's going on here. Even though I don't see the threat, the fact that my partner responded like that, he saw something. And that's where I sympathetic. I get the point where, okay, you're shooting too much, stop. But if my partner starts firing at somebody, I'm going to protect my partner. Whatever he saw, I'm going to protect him.
You know what? I get that 100%, and I don't argue that fact. And I would stand if I was on a grand jury, I would stand on that fact for a no bill. I would buy the argument of a reasonable fear. I don't know what bothers me most about this, and it could be the way that vehicle's setting. You have these officers had a great vantage point to what was going on inside that vehicle, and that could be the reason for the fire, as Dr. Ahern has said. But I think if it were there, we would have seen that in the public release, press release, because they're not going to leave out when there's a gun there. They're not going to leave that out because they want to throw that out there as quick as possible, in my opinion. So
real quick, and then we can move on. But I don't think there necessarily needs to be a gun in there, based upon what happened leading up to that. Any furtive movement. It could be taking off a seatbelt and all of a sudden the silver thing. It could be a cell phone coming up. It could
100%.
be, yeah. So
And I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that we don't know what the officers are claiming, and I've been in this situation myself. I give a damn. I tell the media that's for me, my attorney, and the grand jury to know, so that the grand jury can make a decision. But I'll tell you what. Well, let's go to Phoenix. Jason, on your task force, did they ever call you guys, or did you ever have any guys they refer to like jump out boys, or we go around like in vans and jump out on people doing street crime stuff?
We called them rips.
What did RIP stand for?
I don't know. We just said we're gonna
do it. You're just ripping somebody off the street.
It was a bywalk or a rip. So
okay,
okay.
There's sometimes we'd have people with warrants or whatever. They're in a pedestrian area, and we would drive in the van, and sometimes we just called kidnap missions. Sometimes just go open up the back of the van doors and grab a dude and arrest them. But sometimes you jump out on like guys parked in the park or areas that you're getting a lot of complaints on drug activity. We're going to see this is one of those type of operations in Phoenix.
You used to call that the jump out boys in Chicago.
Jump out boys.
Steve, Ronnie.
Hey, get the fuck out the car! Get out the car! Get out the car! I'm fucking moving now!
Phoenix Police Department. Put your hands up. Let me see your hands down. The Phoenix Police Department, yours over. Watch out, right? 37 out. Come on up. Hey, turn around. Turn around. Get on your knees right now. I'm hands. Get on your knees. I'm hands. Get on your knees now. Put your hands on top of your head. Where's the work?
So basically, this is a unit that's doing street level crime or drug trafficking, street level crime, and they're jumping out on a vehicle that I'm sure they had some intelligence to believe it might be fruitful. And the car starts to drive away. Almost the same situation as we had before. Does anybody have any parts of this they want to see again?
Is that a flashbang that went off on in that second video?
I thought it was a pepper ball.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, right?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was a pepper ball or a flashbang.
Phoenix Police Department. Put your hands up. Let me see your hands down. The Phoenix Police Department, you're under arrest. Watch out, right? 37 out. Come on out. Hey, turn around. Turn around. Get on your knees right now. Get on your knees. Get on your knees now. Put your hands on top of your head.
That's what it was.
I wanted to go
Pretty
back when he first
close
got
quarter
away.
for pepper ball or flashbang.
Well, pepper ball, you're fine. Flashbang, not so much.
It seemed to be a little weak for a flashbang. Corey, where did you want to go?
You can play it right there. Go back more. When the officer was in the middle. Right there, I would have said you could have took a shot. When that officer took that.
The officer that the camera view we're watching now, I would have no-billed him for taking shots right there.
All right, you can stop it. All right, there was an officer when he took that shot and that car was well away. That's dicey right there.
Dicey for the officers is that all those
Dicey
rounds
for the
may not have
officer.
been justified.
Yep. But here's the thing. Now there is justified, right? There. After that, no. I'm sorry. I will have to bill that officer.
Let's listen to that. Like 6 rounds.
Yeah.
Phoenix Police Department.
He even had to rack it.
Mhm.
Okay. So what are you thinking on that, Corey?
Here's my thing. What was all right? So the danger, yes. If we're looking at the danger that he hit the car, he damn near ran over the other.
Let me ask
officer.
you this:
Yes.
he did. Let's say he
Mhm.
didn't. He's fired 6 rounds. One of them hits its mark and hits the guy in the back of the head. You still cool with it?
No, I'm not.
So in your mind, are the rounds justified?
Say again.
So are the rounds justified, even though they
No,
missed the
those
mark?
rounds don't.
Right.
Nope.
Okay. Anybody have a differing opinion on this?
Is this a dope thing, or what's the reason for?
It's a jump out.
I get that, but jump out for what?
Dope. Yeah, it's a dope investigation.
All right. So they know who he is.
They do.
I think there's a better way to tackle this.
Yeah. Is it sticking with you a little bit?
It is. Yeah, it is. I'm not liking this.
The cop that goes and shoots, I counted 12 shots, but it could have been the echo. And yeah, but anyway,
it was. I'll say at least 6. I wasn't counting. I got mesmerized with him racking the slide.
There were too many, but anybody else who would do that far away, I mean, that's reckless endangerment at the very least. And he's firing at this car. You're not hitting that with a pistol. Sit the fuck down. I mean, it might be different if you had a rifle out, but there, somebody comes running out of a house and you're shooting. Nah, fuck that guy.
Go back to my original scenario. What if he's aiming and he's shooting at a person? What if he'd hit that person? Are you okay with it?
I don't care. I'm not okay with shooting at that distance with a pistol. It's asinine.
Well, you guys are talking the effectiveness of it. I'm talking about the legality of it.
No, I am too. You have to know as a cop, you have to know as anybody who shot a gun, period, that from that distance, you're not going to hit.
I'm not talking about the distance. Okay, let's say the distance. He had a rifle. He was well within the maximum effective range of the weapon that he had, and he shot that, so that would be okay because he used the proper weapon. Or did he have the authority to use deadly force? Because is he using deadly force when he's pulling the trigger?
He's trying to.
If it hits its mark, it's exactly what's going to happen, right? Or a good likelihood of.
I'm not okay with him firing from that, like with that big a gap in between. I'm just not. There's too much that could go wrong. Once he passes right there, no more shooting. He's already passed the cop cars. He's going, no, I'm not okay with it. I'm indicting that dude on that.
Tell me why you would stop shooting here.
Because one, where he's standing, and I know we see from the body camera angle, but you've got that last cop car right there, and there's nothing behind that. It's just like open space. So anybody could be coming out their door, they could be getting into their car in the driveway, whatever. There is nothing to
Okay,
stop.
stop.
And
Dr. Ahern, why is this does the officer have the authority to use deadly force where the screen is stopped right now? There are no officers.
Yes.
The vehicle is.
Yes.
What would be the justification for using deadly force in your mind?
Endangering other people with the fleeing vehicle. Should he have done that? The answer is no, because his firing now is likely endangering people as well. But if you have somebody that's a felon, that's a felony stop, they've already shown a propensity to, not really care. He, could have taken out a couple cops while he was fleeing, whatever the case may be. Probably not a good idea. But as far as like him pulling the trigger, definitely no bill at that point, because he's still, trying to protect the safety of somebody. Potentially, because let's say it's a high-speed chase and he ends up killing a family of 6 or 7. Well, why didn't you, try to shoot him in the head when you had him right there in front of you? Now, the reasonableness of it,
that's a
I'm a pretty good shot, but a moving vehicle by the time he gets to about 100 yards with a handgun, that's definitely pushing it a little bit. But still, he does have the right to shoot into a moving car like that.
Okay, let's run it around and see where everyone's at. Fidji, what's your take in a quick vote?
I'm sorry, skip me. I had to step away for a moment. I apologize.
No worries. Corey Brooks.
Bill, on the fact that I can understand what public safety, you're trying to protect that, stop that, because he can ram somebody with their car. That car was well gone by the time he took them shots. Bill.
So you're going to indict him on that, correct?
Yes.
All right, Big Ron. I hear what Corey's saying, but I think no, I don't think I'm going to indict on this one. I think I'm going to let this one go.
Would you be good with a reprimand?
Yeah, I would. You can't reprimand anybody.
I definitely think there needs to be something looked into. That, I mean, I see what you're saying. He's just steadily driving away, and he's definitely doing an action movie on this guy as he's pulling away. But
okay, so but you're still a no bill.
Yeah, I'm still a no bill.
Okay, Lawyer Joe.
Oh, I'm indicting that cop right there that's shooting. The rest of them seem to be okay. They were somewhat.
What are you going to indict him for?
Right here, I'm pushing at least reckless endangerment. I don't know what all the laws are where in Phoenix, but I mean negligent right here.
You wouldn't do aggravated assault with a deadly weapon?
Who was in fear for like to have assault? You either have to have a contact or a reasonable fear. So there'd have to be somebody in that distance who had a reasonable fear.
You don't think that guy driving had a reasonable fear?
Okay, but he doesn't have a right to have a reasonable fear. He's the bad guy.
He doesn't?
No, not right here. You don't have a right to like have a reasonable fear. If the cop's shooting at you because you did something wrong, I mean, but I'm just saying you don't. He can't say I was reasonable. I wish you could say you reasonably had a reasonable fear.
I can't believe we're having this conversation. That's
okay.
Really shocking. Okay, so you would indict for some sort of negligence,
at least like a reckless endangerment or whatever their equivalent would be, because he should have stopped. This is just asinine.
But if his actions weren't reckless or negligent and he had shot the guy and killed him, then we'd been good to go.
No, I'm still, you know me and my backdrop shit. I'm not going to be okay with him just firing off that far away in a neighborhood. It's one thing if they're out in the middle.
What about the guy driving the car? You say, oh, that's right. He's a criminal, so he doesn't have any. He's got no rights or.
You're not allowed to. You know, goddamn well, you're not allowed to say I was in reasonable fear of the cops, so I shot him. Get the fuck out of here. You're not allowed to do that. Everybody knows you're not allowed to do that. So no, it would have to be another person who was in reasonable fear because of the cop shooting for it to be an aggravated issue.
Man, it was almost like there was a case just like this some time ago. I can't remember what it was. Jason, what do you think about this?
Procedurally, I guess if you're going there to arrest, I would not give him. Again, I can't help but watch what the cops do here and kind of bypass the bill or not bill. But why are you giving him an escape route? If you're there to do a jump out or you're there to make an arrest, box the guy in and just contain it, and then approach the vehicle. So that's the first thing that I don't like is they gave him an escape route. The second thing I don't like is if this guy gets to a point after there's nobody. I think he shot too long. The first few shots I'm fine with, but once he gets past that point, you hit a guy who's accelerating. You hit him in the head, and he's on a residential street, and all of a sudden that vehicle rams a fucking house. At some point, it becomes a public safety concern that if you eliminate the threat and he's 100 yards down the road accelerating, the actions that occur after that, I think the guy continuing shooting put himself in jeopardy, and thankfully he didn't hit the guy. But as far as billing, not billing, he was justified in my opinion up to a point, but then you have to have the whereabouts to say, all right, let's go get him, or let's get him in another day. So based on this thing, I kind of agree with Joe on the negligence on the officer's part, that you have to stop at some point, that he's gone. It's not worth continuing to pull that trigger.
Tennessee versus Garner. I'm going to indict him. He was shooting at him because he was fleeing. He offered, in my opinion, no other imminent threat to a third person or any other officer to a point. Now, there was a point there that those rounds were righteous. But I'm going to say it's classic Tennessee versus Garner. I'm surprised that my attorneys didn't jump all over that one.
So I was right.
Now, you vote how you want. I would indict.
Well, that's what I think. Okay. Fine.
Oh, did you say indictment?
I said at a certain point he should have stopped shooting. Beyond that, he's wrong. And
I'm sorry.
He said he agreed with me on the guy kept shooting way too long after it was safe.
Very concise speech. So I missed that.
Mm.
Let's go to Ohio.
Akron Police and Fire, Tech 170.
Yes. Hello. I'm sorry. Yes. Well, not a long story, but I did a report of thefts.
Okay. What's the address where you need police?
Ira Avenue, Akron, Ohio, 44301.
What is your name? What is your phone number?
330.
What was stolen?
My car. Well, my son, he has a mental problem, and he stole all my credit cards about the 14th of February, last Friday, and he disappeared until now. He just come here home here. Well, he's been staying with me about a week, but he actually live in Cincinnati with his mom.
Okay.
And so he just came here. It's the first time seeing him. He took my credit cards and ran off last Friday. He just come in here half an hour ago. And I don't know, he's in some kind of stage. But I tried to talk to him. And I didn't have my clothes on, so I went in the bedroom and put the clothes on. While I went in the bedroom and put the clothes on, he ran out. He ran there and got my keys to my car and took off.
How long ago did he do that?
15 minutes.
What kind of car?
It's a 2020 Camry Toyota. It's actually pearl, but it looks white.
Do you happen to know the plate?
The license plate, it's a vanity plate, and it's LENBOY.
L as in Lincoln, E as in Edward, N as in Nancy, B-O-Y?
Yes, Lynn Boy.
All right. Any idea of where he's headed?
No. He just come in here, and I was in the bed. I got up, and I asked him, where you been? And he said, Columbus. And I said, Columbus, why you go to Columbus? And he said, casino, which all of a sudden he ain't no casino person, really. And then I look out the window and ask him, well, where's your car at? He said, it's in Columbus. I said, well, you done rented a car? He got a black Toyota, look like a little Toyota. I can't think the name of it now. Black, it's parked out here in front of the house. And I said, you rented that car? And he said, yeah. I said, well, where's your car? In Columbus, he said. And I said, you rented that car, you rented it with my credit card, huh? He said, yeah. So I stopped to talk to him, went in the bedroom, put on my pajamas.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was in there doing that, I heard the door shut. I got a gentleman come out, and he was driving. I had my car blocked in the driveway with my van. So, but he's able to back up and cut across the yard.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get police out to you as soon as possible, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Chase. We're going to be north on Lakeshore.
Shots fired, shots fired. Shots fired, he just took 2 shots at us.
Yeah, that escalated quickly.
Alright, that car just still going. He's going to be making an eastbound turn onto eastbound turn onto Ira.
All cars stand by.
Drop the fucking gun! Get down on the fucking ground! Alright, he's got a gun in his hand. He's right in front of the house. Alright, it's a 21. He's shooting. He's going to be taking off running.
He just took 3 more shots at us. He's on foot. Brown leather jacket, hands in.
You got a rifle? You got a rifle?
No. He's running eastbound. Oh, no, Ira.
Alright, stay. I'm coming back. Get. Hey, anybody with a rifle, get up here. Rifle, get up here.
Drop the gun, buddy. Drop the gun, buddy.
Alright.
Police shots fired. He's down. Show signal 21. He's down. Right in front of the cruiser.
Go around that way. I would go far.
Get in this. Let's just move this. Or I'll get in.
I would go around, come at him.
Get behind the car.
All right, moving up on him. No movement.
How's that? Is that good? Right there?
Yeah.
Good. Right there's good.
Right there. Stop right there. Watch. Hey, look up, look up.
Stay down.
Get down.
Take that door off.
Drop the fucking gun! Drop the gun!
Hold the chair. Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Hands! Charge your hands! Now!
Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Hands up!
Hands up!
Put your fucking He still has the fucking gun! Still in his hand!
Drop the gun!
Starting your
Starting your mess.
He's still
He's still moving.
Still armed.
Still armed.
Starting your mess.
Watch your left hand! Still looks like a gun's his left hand!
EMS around.
Drop the fucking gun!
Need a shield up here now.
Watch the crossfire!
Just safe for EMS approach.
Hey, sir, back up! Get back inside! Back inside! Back inside! Yeah, he just shot at us! Get back inside! Go back inside!
We'll be with you when we can, sir.
You want to just move up on it?
I got him, Bubba.
Does he get, shake his hand?
Can you see it?
You stay, we got your cover. Everybody else move. We got your cover.
Leave it. Well, okay, just drag him
Just
away.
pull him away.
Him away from it. Who's got an aid bag?
I think he's beyond egg bag.
Who's got some pressure?
There's a status.
Throw some pressure. Slow down. It's safe for you. Throw some pressure. Get EMS up here. Now. Units stuck in the road. Move for EMS.
We got a bag? A medic bag?
Have
EMS get here up near now.
Get medic bag.
Stay down! Get down!
Drop the fucking gun!
Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Hands! Show your hands! Now!
Put your hands out! Put your hands out! Hands up!
Hands up!
Put your fucking hands out!
Hands up now! Hands up! Drop the gun!
Starting EMS. He's still moving. Still armed. Starting EMS. Somebody with a shield.
Rope it!
Drop the fucking gun!
Hey, we need a shield up here now.
Watch the crossfire!
Hey.
Safe for EMS approach.
No.
Negative.
Hey, sir, back up! Get back inside! Back inside! Back inside! Yeah, he just shot at us! Get back inside!
Go in the house, sir, please. We'll get with you. We'll be with you when we can, sir.
Yeah, let's move up.
Looks like he's got a...
We got your cover.
We got a bag? A medic bag?
No movement. How's that? Is that good? Right there is good. Right there is good.
Right there!
Stop right there.
Watch. Hey, look up, look up!
Get down! Get down! Drop the fucking gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Hands! Charge your hands! Now! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Hands up! Hands up! I think that's... Put your fucking hands up! Hands up now! Hands up! Drop the gun! Let's start slinking.
The same for EMS approach.
All right, there's your video, folks. You're not going to have a placard on the end of this. You heard the 911 call. That's what the officers knew. And this is the result of that. So let's go to Lawyer Joe first. Actually, let me back up. Does anybody want to go back and see any different parts of this?
I'm good.
Did it put everyone to sleep? Everyone fell asleep during this video?
No. We're good. I'm good.
No one has any issues?
I say indict them all, violation of Tennessee v. Garner.
Cheese and rice. Now we're going to worry about Tennessee versus Garner with a guy with a firearm laying in the snow that won't put it down. That's amazing. But the guy driving off,
he was fleeing. He was
miles
fleeing.
an hour, gets 12 rounds in his back windshield. Well, I can see why the guy did it. You guys are funny. Yeah, I think it's a no bill for me. Does anybody have a contrary to that? Jason, what do you think about this one?
I think Akron needs to put some money into rifles in each of
Akron.
the squad cars.
Akron. That's where I went to college.
Yeah,
that's great, Akron.
Akron.
Whatever.
Akron.
No, whoever was the sergeant controlling this dude needs a pat on the back. He did a good job. And get them some rifles.
And I will say here that, guys, I don't believe we saw sympathy fire here. These guys were aiming their shots. They were picking their shots. And maybe it's a little less stressful than somebody just chasing you down with a vehicle, but you didn't see the sympathy fire, in my opinion, on this. And Ramblin' Bob's got a good point. With all these camera views, it would be very difficult to be a trier of fact. I think he's saying to find someone liable for their actions on the law enforcement side on this day, for this action anyway.
And for context, this is not the best area. It's down by a big lake, and there's a lot of crime, a lot of drugs in that area.
Is it within the city limits of Akron?
Yes, it is in Akron. Not too far from
Is it Acorn?
I haven't been to a great place in Ohio yet.
I thought it was Acorn.
Everywhere I am is a great place. So anyway, but that's not actually, I'm really impressed with them because Akron police are known to not necessarily have their shit together.
Just
so
know that, right?
I was kind of impressed. They do.
I've never been to Akron.
There's a reason for that, Jason.
You're not missing much.
I've been there.
Hey, that's where I went to college. Y'all shut up.
All right, no more picking on Lawyer Joe. She's back from a little bit of a break. We don't want to force her off into another break so quickly. Anybody else have anything they want to add to this video? We're ready to go to the next one. With that, let's go to and you know what, folks, this could be Wyoming.
Hello. How you doing? Good. How are you today? Pretty well. The reason I'm pulling yours for 70 and a 55. Any reason for going that fast today?
No, sir, I was just keeping up with traffic.
Oh, the speed limits out there were like 80.
You got your license and registration on you?
Can I put it in park?
Yeah. Where you coming from today?
Church and my mom's cemetery.
Okay.
I just want to let you know that I'm a January 6th defendant.
What do you mean?
I stormed the Capitol. I'm waiting on my pardon.
Really?
Yeah, and I can't really afford to get in any trouble right now.
Okay, I understand.
Okay,
Understand.
I am driving without a license right now.
Okay, so why are you doing that then?
Well, I have to. I've been waiting for my hardship license. I just moved back from Idaho.
Okay.
And I had to move back here because my federal case.
Okay.
So I'm just in the middle of everything right now.
So with your federal case, why would you have to move back to Indiana?
Well, I had pending traffic violations, and I had to live in Indiana in order to qualify for the hardship license, but they didn't tell me that until I got my federal case, so I moved back to get my license.
Okay, all right. Well, let me see your license here. Okay. How many times have you been caught driving without a license?
In my life?
No, just recently. Like, how many have you been caught with the suspended driver's license before?
Yeah, but it hasn't been for years, long time.
Okay. All right, Matt, hang tight for me, okay, and I'll get back with you, all right?
Okay.
Actually, you know what? You have the registration for your vehicle?
I bought this. I think I have the title in here.
Okay.
Jasper County,
Is that a corgi
Indiana.
back there?
This is a Senji.
Okay.
Rescue dog.
Okay. All right. All right, Matt, hang tight for me, okay, buddy?
Hey, Dr. Doug, are you also screaming, shut the fuck up, at the screams of dying?
They're always trying to talk their way out of it.
Just shut up and give him your shit. Don't say anything. Oh my God. What are you doing?
Hey, Matt, you want to go ahead and shut your vehicle off and step back here with me real quick?
Yep.
Go ahead and shut it off for me, please.
Am I under arrest or anything?
We'll come back here. I'll explain everything to you, okay?
It's taking a while.
So I'm going to hold on to this real quick while I explain it to you. Okay, so today you're getting off with a verbal warning for the speed. However, you're a habitual traffic violator.
I know.
Which means that you are at a felony status for driving while suspended. So today you are going to come with me.
Well, I can't.
You're going to have to, okay? You're going to come with me today, all right?
No, I can't go to jail for this, sir.
You're going to have to come.
Can I get a ride?
No.
Are you sure? I'll violate my...
Just listen to me, okay? Number one, it's a felony offense. There's no leeway with felonies in the state of Indiana. Now, maybe if it was a misdemeanor offense, I could work something out with you, but it's not a misdemeanor. It's a felony offense, okay? So that's why I can't work with you today with it, okay? I understand your circumstances, but you understand that you can't drive. Okay, so your driving has resulted into this situation. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do, all right, is I'm going to put your information right here for a sec. I want you to turn around and put your hands like, don't you do it, buddy!
No. I'm shooting myself.
No. So I'm going to hold on to this real quick while I explain it to you. Okay, so today you're getting off with a verbal warning for the speed. However, you're a habitual traffic violator.
I know.
Which means that you are at a felony status for driving while suspended. So today you are going to come with me.
Well, I can't.
You're going to have to, okay? You're going to come with me today, all right?
No, I can't go to jail for this, sir.
You're going to have to come.
Can I get a ride?
No.
Are you sure?
I'll
violate my...
Just listen to me, okay? Number one, it's a felony offense. There's no leeway with felonies in the state of Indiana. Now, maybe if it was a misdemeanor offense, I could work something out with you, but it's not a misdemeanor. It's a felony offense, okay? So that's why I can't work with you today with it, okay? I understand your circumstances, but you understand that you can't drive. Okay, so your driving has resulted into this situation. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do, all right, is I'm going to put your information right here for a sec. I want you to turn around and put your hands on. Don't you do it, buddy. No.
I'm shooting myself.
No.
Any parts of this people need to go back and, or anybody wants to go back and watch or see, and that goes for the viewers out there, folks. Just throw us up a comment. We see them real time, and we can take it back to any spot that you want to see again. And you'll see there towards the end of this paragraph that the deputy, the officer involved, has been cleared on this shooting.
Okay, let's talk about the important stuff. I need to know what happened to the dog.
They euthanized the dog. The dog aided and abetted him driving that vehicle, which was a felony.
Shut up! I'm saying, I'm gonna have to go look it up. See what happened.
See, Joe, I knew when you this is why I was asking you about this video, because I saw the dog and I was like, yeah, he's gonna get
the
upset.
dog wasn't hurt in this. He witnessed a horrible crime. Now we've got to safeguard. We can't watch videos that dogs may have mental issues or seen violent action.
No, I just want to make sure someone took care of the dog. I'm guessing they probably took him
Talking
over
about
to
an
the
animal
shelter.
that would eat the belly out of a living being when he's hungry.
Yeah, he's still better than the human. So anyway,
so would you?
I'm guessing. I'm going to assume he just went back to the shelter.
He didn't. It was a kill shelter. Nobody picked him up, and that's what happened. So, what else about this this whole situation? Anything else?
You know, it's like I don't fault the cop at all, but what these guys have been through, some of these guys have been through, I mean, it's pretty awful. I was just reading about Huddle. He spent 6 months at Thompson, I guess, but you know, that fear of going back to prison and all, I think that's a pretty real thing for them. It's just sad.
Well, if you know that driving a vehicle could be a felony offense in your state, you think that should be a part of your equation so that you don't put yourself in this type of a situation?
I didn't say he wasn't responsible for his actions. I just think it's sad that someone got so fucked with that, you know, they're terrified of that responsibility.
Okay.
Terrified of the consequences. It doesn't make him right or wrong. I mean, it doesn't make him right for driving on a suspended and when he shouldn't be driving, but you know, it's just a very sad situation.
Nobody's got anything to say about a state that says that operating a motor vehicle could be a felony offense.
Well, they did say it was habitual. So in some states,
habitually didn't pay the state its fine or its fees.
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying I'm not surprised because there's a lot of states that have you commit a bunch of habitual misdemeanors and they'll add up to a felony after a while.
I want to pause the broadcast for a moment. Burton Culley has said, I wish I could talk. I've invited Burton Culley on this show a dozen times. He's got an open invite anytime that he wants to come onto the show. I will send him a studio invite. Burton, I'm calling bullshit on your little look at me, I'm a victim post.
I've heard you make that. I've heard you extend that invitation to him, Joe. I heard you do it last week.
Times. I couldn't be more welcoming.
Exactly, but I don't think Burton comes up because Lamar's not up here. So heart.
If Lamar was in here, yeah, no.
Heart.
Yeah.
Heart. Smiley face. He'd be all, yeah, 100%. That's what he meant. He said, I wish Lamar was in here so I could hear him talk, is what he meant to say. That was coded.
I think you are correct. And if we harass Burton quite a bit more, maybe he'll actually come on to the broadcast.
Does anybody have any issues with law enforcement actions on this one?
Yeah.
Jason, you want to add something to it?
I feel bad for the cop.
100%, man.
He's a good cop. That was and I get what Fidji was saying about I feel bad for the guy too, but in the same breath, if you're driving without a license, don't speed, you dumbass. You know, don't attract attention to you. And It's just the cop has seemed very respectful, very cordial. This whole thing, I feel bad for the cop. Whatever
You
this
know
guy's
what?
been through, it doesn't matter. Don't suck other people into your misery.
I agree 100%, but I also agree with Fidgy's point. I mean, this guy right here was just like, you know what, this is it. I'm not going through any of that again. It's a tough fight when you're fighting for your freedom, or when you have the government looking at you in a criminal fashion. And, you know, most Americans, thank goodness, don't understand what that's like. But it's a formidable enemy that not many people. You don't want to go back and thrash again, I think.
And one thing, Joe, just real quick, Burton, I appreciate the offer, but I am married, so I will not be partaking.
Damn. So Burton says,
Yes.
Burton's, I think, has the same sentiment as the rest of us. Bad for the cop, but also bad for the guy. That's just a horrible thing. Guy, that's the, folks, that's the J6 video that's been running around. The J6ers that the left was saying that he was such a bad guy that, you know, he tried to kill a cop and the cop had to kill him. So.
And for the record, you know, man, I've had federal bonds where, you know, a person violates, gets arrested. Just depends on what it is, but you know, most of the time, you know, pretrial services and U.S. probation are always going to forward over, usually to the magistrate first, and then, you know, possibly to the district judge. A bond revocation, okay, they will go into custody. That part will happen. The marshals will bring them before the judge. But I've had the bonds, you know, actually just where the judge admonished the client and said, "Hey, look, you know, because but it was for, you know, it wasn't for a felony, but you know, this was driving with a license invalid, and I understand that, but ultimately it is a traffic issue." And there's a good chance he probably could have got, especially because he was waiting a pardon. There's a good possibility that he could have been, the bond would have gotten reinstated. He didn't have to end his life like that.
No, you know what, and I agree, but I think especially some of these J6ers, they hadn't felt any leniency from the government on all their stuff, and I can see what this guy probably wasn't expecting anymore.
And I got the impression Matt might have had some other issues going on.
Well,
Yeah.
they not only showed no leniency, they made shows of arresting them, of crushing them, of making sure they get fired from their jobs. I mean, no one would touch them. So they have just been through. Unfortunately, down at a state or a county level, it's going to be very, very different than like the government coming after you. You know, like they did the J6ers. So I understand his fear. It's just it's what makes it so sad is he would not have been so punished at this level as he was at the federal level.
Our victim has chimed in again. It's our fault that he has family night on Fridays. Or the rest of us are so sad that we don't have any plans on Fridays, is one way you could look at it. But the rest of y'all, all you viewers and watchers and all my guests, we're all in the same boat. So there you go. Let's go to Jacksonville. This is another Florida man.
Florida, Bravo, Quebec 9, 1, Victor Hotel, Silver Impala, unknown occupants.
Bravo, Quebec 9-1, Victor Hotel.
A long ass chase.
Well, it took that cop forever to get back to his car and all. He didn't seem in a hurry.
See, that cop likes Buc-ee's.
Show me your fucking hands. Show me your hands. Put your hands out the door. Put your hands outside the door. Hands outside the door. Don't you fucking do it. Stop. Stop. $839, 1033.
Now those shots
On
connected.
Gossett. Shots fired. Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Open the door.
I'm hit.
Crawl out the car. Crawl out. Crawl out. Crawl out. Crawl out.
Bro, I'm gonna die.
Get on the ground.
I'm gonna die. Oh
1068.
my God, I'm gonna
1068.
die.
Whiskey Mike. Shot knock.
He's not gonna die.
He didn't die. He did survive his wounds. But there's our video. Two parts of this. Everybody pick up on that? There's some time difference from the first contact to the second contact.
12 days.
12 days. But this is what Jason talks about a lot with the no pursuit policies. You back off. They knew who this guy was, had his driver's or had his identifying information, at least a license plate, and they'll pick him up later. 12 days later. Nobody's got anything you want to see on this? How about the shoot?
No, I'm justified. He's all right.
Okay. There's a no bill there.
I gotta agree with Corey, no bill, because he backs up and then he starts pulling out directly like at the cop, and that is a big ass weapon. So I think he was justified in shooting him.
When did he actually
Tennessee.
When did he actually fire
On
the shot?
Gossett. Shots fired.
When what?
Let's see when the actual rounds flew out of his barrel. There the car is. He does
Stop!
aim
Stop!
Right before he started to turn.
839, 1033. On Gossett.
Were there two cop
Stop!
cars there?
In a single unit.
Stop! 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 Stop!
Okay. Attorneys,
I just
are you
said.
Joe? What do you think?
Did you not hear what I said?
I asked a question. You just gonna tell me to go back and rewind and listen to what you might have said a few minutes ago?
No, what I said was, since the car was headed straight at the cop, I said he was justified in shooting, but then the guy started to turn and he didn't stop shooting. So, like, as soon, because right here, I think the cop just started shooting as soon as this dude started coming at him. But he waited and he backed up. So, I mean, I could argue there's no reasonable fear because you're backing up and he's turning. So I could argue both ways. But I think he was justified in shooting just because the car was coming at him.
Okay. Dr. Ahern, what do you think about this one?
I agree.
Okay. And Corey, you're a no bill. Big Ron, you no bill as well?
Yep, I'm a no bill, but I will tell you, Jacksonville will chase you. They will chase the wheels off your cars. But this, I have to agree, this was a probably good decision by the police officer in the beginning to let it go and then come back and get him at a later date.
Okay, Fidji.
Were there two cops there?
No, again, there's only one. The only video we see, it's a single officer on patrol who makes.
What was he doing outside of his car and so far from it?
He's standing right next to his car, just to the front fender.
Okay. Okay. I guess he was running backwards. Yeah, no bill.
No bill. Okay. Jason?
You guys aren't going to like me here. If you find this guy, this is the second video. Stop giving people escape routes, especially if it's a parked car. I mean, you have bumpers on the front of your car. Box him in. And the second part, I don't like this shoot. I'm not shooting in this at all. The guy, he's making a right-hand turn to get away, not to charge the officer. I'm not shooting this. I don't like this one at all.
I'm going to have to go with Jason. I don't like it at all. The only reason this officer's life was in danger because he stood between the path and freedom for this guy. The guy, in fact, he eased forward. He didn't run at him like as if it were a weapon. And I get the OODA loop that's running through there. The reaction is going to be slower than the action, but I think by the time he had kicked off his first round, you know what? I would give him one. I'd give him maybe 2 rounds. Anything beyond that, though, I think his life's no longer. It's not a threat. Now you're shooting to apprehend, and that's unlawful. So I would indict this officer.
Well, we agreed on one.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm with you on it. I would not have fired my weapon at all in this scenario. And for God's sakes,
you can't carry that gun and badge and be that fearful that you're popping rounds off like that. You can't shoot in fear.
And none of it happens if you.
Although it needs to be a reasonable fear, but I mean, you know what? You can't shoot in panic, I should say.
And none of it happens if the officer is like 5 feet forward more, where he can't get out. Make the arrest.
100%. There are absolutely ways to do that. And even if you tactically did that incorrectly, step out of the way, let that guy go and get you another pursuit in there. It would have been a lot more fun than this bullshit you're about to go through for shooting him. I don't know. There was a warrant, Derps. There was definitely a bolo. Be on the lookout. They stopped him. He fled in the motor vehicle, which is a felony in Florida, I'm sure. This officer 12 days later run across this gentleman and tried to make an arrest. Most likely there was a warrant, but if it was for evading, and I don't know that there was.
I think that's the first video where Joe and I said indict and everybody else said no.
It's like Bizarro World tonight. The whole.
Wait, I said I could make an argument either way.
They were like, well, I think it might be a safety violation if the guy was on a range, but otherwise he looks good to me.
Yeah. Anyway, I said I could argue either way because I said as soon as he started shooting when the guy's turning, it was not okay. So anyway,
I didn't hear a clear indictment or no indictment on that. It was you were like milk toast on it.
I wouldn't indict, but I could argue for indicting. But I didn't play it safe.
And you're no safe. You can't walk out of there and say, "Well, I would have convicted him."
No, I said I wouldn't indict him, but I.
Then I'm trying. Why are you trying to chime in and get on the bandwagon of indictment all of a sudden?
I'm not trying to get on the bandwagon.
Jason,
I'm just trying to make you and Jason.
Am I wrong, Jason? Is she
not
trying to
feel so dumb?
Well, I said that too. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not about.
Yeah, that's why I agreed with her because she said as the car was coming towards the officer, he's justified in shooting because he's in fear of his life. But the minute that the guy kind of started turning to the right, now you've lost, which is basically the same thing. I think that she pretty much was agreeing. So that's why I had agreed with her.
I'll back her up on this one. It's like a whole panel of pick-me's tonight. You're embarrassing me. Every one of you were no bills until we come to Jason and I. Now everybody's trying to bandwagon.
I'm gonna stick with the no bill. How about you just don't run from the police?
Yeah, you're 100% pick me. Raise your hand.
Pick me.
Let's go to DC, guys.
And Corey, stop with the transgender killings, please.
What's your problem? I'm in my lane. Look at that. Hey. Hey. Give me a fucking gun, man. Get back. Give me a gun, man. Back up.
Where is this, Joe?
Back up.
The nation's capital.
Back up. I don't want to shoot you. Hey. Give me a fucking gun. Say that to show you.
Well, he ain't a badass anymore, is he?
God, that was like watching Trump take on Zelensky today.
Services 114.
4D.
Where's 092? Officer involved. Send additional units and send me the board.
What's your name? What's your location?
Officer involved shooting. Send the board and send additional unit.
I'm done.
Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Stay where you are.
Is this America?
Washington, D.C.
Send additional unit.
We have 40 official. Is that Nancy?
Officer involved shooting. Subject had a knife. He's walking me down.
He's walking me down to the ganja man.
Fully adult male injured. Male subject shot.
Hey, Furman, he's stabbing himself with a knife.
Okay, he stabbed himself with a knife. Copy. It's 1814. And what's your
9-2. He crashed in my vehicle. Send additional units. Send. Right here, I'm right here. Let me get the shield.
What's the matter with
Right in, right there. You got a shield? Watch yourself. He got a knife. You got a knife. Watch yourself.
Get out the car! Get out the car! Get out the car! Get out the car! Sir! Get out the car!
3500 Black of Georgia. Get where you additional unit, man. Get out of the car.
Get out the car! Drop the knife!
Drop the knife.
Drop the knife!
Stay this way. Stay this way. He's there. He's there. Crossfire.
Get out the car! Get out the car!
Get out of the car.
He's got a knife! Get out the car!
Watch the crossfire. Watch the crossfire.
Pointing
Get
here,
out the
calling
car!
a blood clot.
Get out the car! Get my keys away! Get out the car!
Don't go in there.
I know, because my keys are. She's in my car! Get out of the car, boss!
Yo, get out. Yo. Yo, the knife. Yes. Yo, hey.
Pretty straightforward. I think we saw everything that happened. In case you didn't know, it was a traffic accident involved with the officer and the decedent. Do I need to go back and we need to rewatch anything to make a decision, or how do we feel about this one?
It's a shit show.
Welcome to DC.
Okay. Any issues with the? Let's go with legalities. Any unlawful actions with the officer? Or
I have a question.
we believe that the use was justified. Go ahead.
When the cop that kind of chased the guy down the side alley, was the guy running away from him or running towards him?
Let's go to that spot. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking there. So he's going to drive the police car. Then he decides he's not going to drive the police car because he is smooth running the scene right here, this guy. Good thing they got a shield. Now they can do something about modern officers and not being able to do something with a shield. They call for it a lot and wait for it. Okay. It looks like he is fleeing at this point. Jump, 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 jump. He's facing the officer. Car door open there. Did you see that at the end there, Lawyer Joe? Looks
Yeah.
like he was trying to jump in a car.
I just wasn't sure because I'm like, if he was fleeing, then absolutely.
Oh, it'd be bad in this situation?
Yeah. If he was fleeing, it would be bad because he's on foot fleeing away from him.
But if there's a you know a substantial chance that he's going to now endanger other people, you know, you can still use deadly force. So even if he's fleeing, because like for example, if he's trying to carjack that other person, you know, or if there's somebody in the vehicle, whatever the case may be, because he's ostensibly, we still believe he's armed with a knife and shown the propensity to use it. I think.
I think the third party defense is good. I mean, the car door is open. Looks like it's a drive through or something. Somebody's just living their life, and he pops open the car door. Officer puts him down. I think it's no problem with that. My surprise was Lawyer Joe wanting to make sure that he wasn't fleeing when deadly force was used.
You know, I feel about that. Like if you're on foot, you don't have a big vehicle, you're driving at somebody and you're running away, you don't get to shoot them in the back. That's a bitch move. But right here, I didn't realize that was like just a third vehicle. I was thinking.
Well, let me ask you, let's go back to the other video when the guy's driving away. He's half a block down the street and the officer's shooting. You didn't have a problem with that.
I did. I said he should have stopped shooting when the guy started.
You used an inappropriate firearm.
Wait, what? Oh, you're talking about like the one several back where the yeah. I had a problem with him shooting at him, and I would have a problem with the cop shooting at this guy who's running away. It's the same thing. There's no inconsistency there.
Oh, we have an audience question here. It's a good one. Is that a Dunkin' Donuts? Let me see if I can back it up. We can freeze it there. I don't think it is a Dunkin' Donut.
I was thinking it was either a diner or it might be White Castle.
It's too bouncy. I can't get it to stop where I can see it. But I think it's not. It could be a donut shop, but I don't think it's Dunkin' Donut. If it was Dunkin' Donuts, it would have taken that officer all that time to get real police there to handle his problem because he wasn't taking care of it. So you're a no-bill lawyer, Joe, right? Did the video
because it looks like he's trying to carjack that other vehicle. Yes, no bill.
But if he was running away, heck no.
Absolutely.
I feel the same way, range-minded. Damn the irony. I feel the same way. Dr. Ahern, you want to comment on this one?
Wait, hold on. What irony?
Of how your metric changes.
No, it didn't.
From the guy driving away to this one.
It wasn't okay.
You weren't clear about being a no bill. I mean, you were a no bill on that.
Are we talking the last one or the one?
We'll talk about it later. We have an after party. We'll bring it up again.
Okay.
I'll play the tape.
No bill for me.
Range minded did a typo. He meant haha. I meant to say you, Joe. Not is inaccurate. So no bill. Fiji. You a no bill on this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna bill on that one.
Corey Brooks, are you a no bill on this one?
Absolutely no bill.
Corey's just copying me.
Yeah, I'm a no bill, but I've seen Boy Scouts do a better job than that.
Oh, I did want to throw out the fact that you all noticed the thumb behind the slide. I was waiting for the slide bite.
Yeah, it didn't appear that it affected him any. Jason, what you think about this, man?
Everybody brings up retraining and all that stuff, and I always say, okay, enough of the retraining. But in this one, this is a shit show. These cops are. This is bad. I don't know what the dude with the shield. What in the blue hell are you doing there, dude? I don't know. No bill. But
when he called for the board, he was calling for the shield, wasn't he? Send me the board.
I don't know what the fuck the board is. I've never used that term. These cops need a lot of work. This was a shit show.
Well, it's Washington, D.C. I don't think you should expect much from them. I mean, he could have took the car. He was about to steal a police car.
Yeah, he was sitting in a cop car. Like,
Get out of the car.
Let me go back to my best part of this. This sounds like just two people had a traffic accident on the side of the road. This doesn't sound policey at all. But listen to his reaction to being struck. Their initial interaction.
What's your problem? I'm in my lane. Look at that. Hey. Hey.
Before it went south, he just had an argument where my car was and whose fault it was. I just found that to be a strange interaction. But back to what you're saying, Jason. So he's confronted with danger while he sits in his front seat of his car. He clears leather. All that's appropriate, in my opinion. For a guy with a knife standing that close, I think he should have shot a lot sooner, and he should have continued to fire until it was no longer a threat, is my opinion in this whole situation.
I was just take control of the goddamn scene. If he jumped out with a knife, you were more than justified to end it right there. The rest of this stuff is just ridiculous. This is.
What about retreating down the road, backing up, and basically saying, "Can you send a real man here to help me?"
These aren't cops. They're not cops. This is ridiculous.
He's a security guard.
Yeah. I don't. As Ramblin' Rob says, I was about to bring that point up. I don't like to see officers do the retreat thing. You have a duty not to. If you don't do it, who is? Who else is going to?
They're afraid of being indicted.
Yeah, you may not be wrong about that, but that means there's a flaw in our system. If you don't do it as the police officer, who is? Who are you calling? You can call more cops. What if they come in there that's as good as you? Who's going to solve the problem?
Well, they did call more cops, and he shows up with the.
And evidently they all come from the same graduating academy. It looked like they sucked.
Yeah, this was horrible. They should be indicted just for being dumbasses.
Oh, that's two bills tonight. Two indictments from the two cops here. Because I'm going to agree with Jason. He needs to go to jail for being stupid and making real police officers look horrible. That's just horrible. What did B say? Nancy Pelosi hired him. Well, you're not necessarily wrong. The Speaker of the House does have some play in the running of the District of Columbia. And we got Cali Ghostbusters. I'll call Ghostbusters. I guess you could call Ghostbusters. And the whole thing is just sad to me. That's just not what I expect. And I don't think our citizens expect our police officers to act that way. But let's go to California. We'll find good police work there.
Get on the ground now. Get on the ground. 10-3 and bash. Get on the ground now. Get on the ground. 998 Paramount Boulevard. Let me get Scoot Airship. Put your hands to your side now. Put your hands out to your side.
1-5 notifying 904.
Hey, I got chest seals.
It's
Start CPR. Okay, start CPR.
Have y'all noticed a trend in assailants with machetes over the last year and a half?
It's a cultural thing.
Well, it really is. It's Central and Latin America, South and Central America. Machetes are. But I think we've had 3 this year, just in 2025, that we've had here on the show of machete engagements. All right. Does anybody have an issue with law enforcement actions here? Something we want to discuss or see again?
Nope. He didn't even have to leave the station or the parking lot to have an incident. So
I'm going to give the dude some credit, man. He didn't go to a daycare to take out his frustrations. He went to the police department, and I got some respect for that.
Yeah.
I actually feel refreshed after the last video.
Why?
Thank you, LAPD.
Oh, come on. It's not that hard. No, it's just not that hard.
This was real cop stuff. The other one was.
This is any average cop 2 days out of the academy could have behaved this way.
Akron, California.
It's Acorn, California. That's right.
Acorn.
That was good. Whoever said that, that was
Look at
good.
the cheese sticks. Y'all carry cheese sticks for shoot victims now and make them feel better? String cheese?
I'm surprised they didn't get a body bunker for this one. Where's the bunker?
Yeah, send me the board. I'll wait in back when the rest of the police get here because I can't handle it myself. So no, I think it was a good shoot. Anybody want to make any more comments about it? Do so now. Now let's go to our last video. We're going to end it off in New Mexico.
It happened around 6 p.m. after a white Dodge Charger passed an NMSP patrol unit traveling at approximately 60 miles per hour in a posted 35 mile per hour zone. The two NMSP officers in the unit activated their emergency lights, and the Dodge Charger eventually stopped near the intersection of Marlin and Fowler. The driver of the Charger, 28-year-old Jesus Rubio,
Stay in the car! Stay in the car! Empty your hands! Shots fired, shots fired, shots fired. Star 55, sit you there. You're okay? I'm good, you good? You're good. You good?
Kilcom 385, you have shots fired?
This is a still image at the moment officers fired their weapons.
The hell kind of grip was that? Is he holding his wrist?
Okay, do we have any questions on this? Anything we want to see?
Not that it matters. I mean, that was obviously no bill, but did he actually have a gun in his hand, or was he just holding his hands like he had one?
I think it turned out later that it was actually not a firearm, but I don't remember what he was holding, but one would have believed it was a firearm.
Yeah, that's why I said it didn't matter, but...
They've got a steel frame here, and let me find that. It's very clear. I mean, I would have banged off on this guy.
Yeah, I don't fault the officer at all. Remember there was that mafia guy who was holding a hoagie, and they thought it was. It doesn't look like he's holding anything.
And he's holding it, whatever he's holding his hand like a gun grip, and there's something black in his knuckles. I mean, like I say, I would have aired him.
That's so weird.
I actually commend the officers on this one because, the natural instinct is to, come to a hard stop and then, jump out to try to surround, so on and so forth. They took their time, kind of, to start running the plates, get this thing developed before they expose themselves.
Yeah, man, I think the fight was brought to them, and I think they responded correctly. I don't know that I'd give them too much on patience. You're right, Burton. He is definitely category DRT, dead right there, no longer living. And I guess my point is, Dr. Ahern, if you'll go back to what point are you saying they when they got behind him is when they took their time to run the plates?
No, not necessarily. It looked like, this was it looks like once they actually lit him up to the time that he pulled over, it was quite a distance, and so they didn't get too excited, too hyped up.
Are you saying at the end of the stop when the person finally pulled over, they didn't step out and run
correct.
In glass?
Correct.
I would challenge you, though, that I don't think they had the opportunity. By the time they come to a complete stop, this guy's already out and on top of them or exposing himself in the manner that he did. I think if you put a clock to it, I think it looks a long time when we're watching it on the video, but if you put a clock to it in real time, it's just a couple of seconds.
Yeah, they come to a stop.
You got the rollback. You know what? I'm going to back off my argument. I see what you're saying, because if they were in the mode that you're talking about, the doors would have slung open. They would have been out in less than 5 seconds, and that was about a 6-second delay from rollback of the vehicle till this guy's fully exposed out of the door.
Yeah, I just, because a lot of times, your energy, you're hyped up, you're wanting to jump out of the car and go and see, take care of the situation, and in that it just looked like they were a little bit more precautious.
Now, I think the officers did a fine job on that one. Does anybody have any other comments about this particular video? If not, I want to end the show talking a little bit about 3D response.
Nope, no bill. Nope.
Jason, you want to add anything to this one?
No.
All right. For those that didn't catch the top of the show, our friend Jason with 3D Response, and many of you may know, some of you may not know, but Jason has a school safety system that, without going into the weeds, because we don't have enough time to do that, but essentially it is a system that goes into schools, that if there is a active shooter at the school, there's a simultaneously lets law enforcement know that they have an issue and where to go. It's got a little GPS map on them to tell them how to get to where it is, tells them what room in the school needs the help, starts to lock things down, and puts children in protective areas, safe areas that the bullets cannot penetrate. So until my theory, way I explain it is that until law enforcement or whoever figure out how to come solve whatever problem you're having at your school, your kids are safe because they're got behind ballistic doors. The walls are treated. You can't tell this either, by the way. You wouldn't walk into school and no 3D response was in the school. They're either pull out ballistic panels, or they'll go back in and take the sheetrock off, put ballistic panels underneath the sheetrock, put the sheetrock back on. It looks like a sheetrock wall, but unlike your sheetrock wall at home, a bullet cannot penetrate it. So if my child's on the other side, I feel safer with it. But Jason, there's an act going or up for passage in Minnesota called the SHIELD Act that would provide guidelines and mandates that new schools being built, and schools that have some sort of renovation at a certain level of percentage have to bring it up to code, just like they have to do with fire code, by the way, guys. We're essentially talking about a fire code for an active shooter or an emergency of that nature in your child's school. But he's got through the first committee. Jason testified with that. But Jason, do you want to add a little bit of that to it? And then I've got some clips from that I'd like to play.
Well, the only thing I'll say is we're looking at the solution wrong. We need to give the kids the tools, the teachers the tools, and the cops the tools. And the fire suppression system created the blueprint for it. We just need a different mindset on how we're looking at how to fix this. It's not a one-trick pony. It's comprehensive. It's holistic, and we need to start looking at this from a different point of view and stop listening to people who think they know what they're talking about, and actually look at it from a tactile point of view. It's cover, concealment, and communication throughout the entire building, and that's the gist of it.
But you had folks, you testified yourself, and I run this live stream, and I'm going to run it again over the weekend for anybody that wants to catch it. Watch my timeline, and you'll catch it. If you want a personal invite to it, shoot me a DM on X, and I'll make sure that you know when that's going. I'm not sure exactly what time I'll be doing that yet. But you not only you testified, you had school administrators and people that have this installed, and they have the 3D response system. They were testifying as well. But who is tell me who this guy is. This one.
I want to talk about what this bill isn't. This bill is not a bill about guns. I think that we have a tendency to revert back to that discussion when engaging in a dialogue surrounding school safety. And I don't really care if you're a card-carrying NRA member or if you are the most staunch and fervent believer in gun control. I think we can all come to a consensus and agree that this is the right approach to take, giving schools the resources that they need to provide that shield for students, teachers, and staff if the worst case scenario were to ever occur, God forbid. This bill isn't about hardening schools. I think we've heard that a lot as well. People have a tendency to just assume that we're trying to create a prison environment out of a school, and none of us want that. These installments are completely naked to the human eye until they're deployed, in which case they're helping save lives.
Who is that gentleman that was just speaking there?
That's Representative Elliot Engen. If you go to the, we did a press conference, and if you listen to his statement up front at the press conference before I speak, he's 26 years old, and the kid is a rock star politically. He just nails everything he says. I gave him a tour. And
Is he the author of the Shield Act or the bill?
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Is he called me before he was sworn in, and he saw me on a news channel talking, and he said, "This is a different perspective than I've ever seen." So I reached out to me, and I said, "I'd like to see what you're doing." So I brought him down. I walked him through one of our installs. We walked out. We're standing on on the sidewalk, and he was literally in awe. And he looked at me and he said, "Why the fuck isn't this in every damn school in this nation? Why aren't you on Fox News?" And kudos to him. In 2 days, he wrote the Shield Act, and he wants to make what we've created into providing money for schools to put it in, and also at the end make it a law like the fire code, that this needs to be everywhere.
So it's no longer an option for a school administrator or a school board to decide whether they have a system or not. It's going to be required, just like it is for anybody that doesn't understand it. The fire code when they build the school, they have to have a special person on the design team to make sure it's in fire code, and the fire code apparatuses are in place and working as they should. So this would essentially kind of do the same thing for schools when it comes to preparing them for an event like an active shooter. Yeah.
Right now, he's asking for $100 million for schools that can't afford it, and we'll see where it goes through this process. But yeah, you're essentially right. It's Elliot's a great man, a young guy. I respect the hell out of his tenacity. He sees something he wants, and he's got common sense and very well spoken. He's a good shit. He's going to be a star politically.
Let's talk about folks that have your system in schools.
The multiple layers of protection presented here in this bill provide the protective layers that I need for my school. Today, you have the ability to make this all possible with your support of the SHIELD Act. You have the ability to help us make our schools safer for everyone. Today, I ask you to be part of the solution and make school safety a top priority in Minnesota.
The SHIELD Act is the multi-layered system that we have implemented in our Lakeville area schools, and it's a proactive, student-centered approach to school security. Its focus on prevention and addressing the mental health needs of our students is as important as the physical building upgrade.
That's some of the testimony, folks. That is going to be the end of our show. We're going to have an after party. Give us about 25, 30 minutes to get kicked off, stretch our legs, get something fresh to drink, and we'll be on X in a space for an after party. Anybody listening that wants a direct invite for that, shoot myself a DM or my co-host, Big Ron, Fidgy, or even Jason or Joe. They'll probably have it as well. And we'll get you a direct invite. Also, if you're not following my co-host, Big Ron, Fidgy, Jason or Joe, you're missing out on X. They're all very good follows, very active, and you just never know what you're going to see posted on a daily basis by this bunch. But should give them a follow. And of course, if you like your host, give them a follow too. Thanks, folks. We'll see you on X in about 20 minutes.
Hello.
No.
And did you ever get any money from Maya Lansky?
I never got money from any of those fellas.
None of those
fellas. None of these that I've been reading about, or none that I knew. They never gave me anything.
None of the machetes?
No. I don't even speak to it. I mean, I met that Charlie once or twice. I don't even talk to him. No.
Night Court with Joe Lanou, live on X.
Also known as Duck Corella. I refuse to answer on the grounds of made intent to criminate. You got any business? I refuse to answer on the grounds of intent to criminate. You have any profession? I refuse to answer on the grounds of made intent to criminate. You have any occupation? I refuse to answer on the grounds of...
Are you a known racketeer?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of...